Okay, this is Block 8, Pax Americana, Section 2. The Cold War begins with the term the Cold War. The Cold War is going to play a role between now and Block 11. It is kind of the defining thing of the second half of the 20th century, 1945 to 1991. And it describes the competition between the United States and the United States and its allies, and the Soviet Union and their allies in the second half of the 20th century. And a lot of people kind of always ask, well, what the heck happened? You know, you had the United States and the Soviet Union fighting on the same side during World War II, and then pretty much as soon as the war ends, the war with Germany is replaced by tension with the Soviets. And the tension began even during the war. Stalin accused Roosevelt and Churchill of letting the Soviet soldiers do the fighting, while the Allies kind of looked back and just happily enjoyed the Germans and the Russians killing each other. Stalin accused Roosevelt and Churchill of, having secret imperialist plans, of wanting to isolate the Soviet Union after the war. So even as the war was ending, there was already bad blood between the Allies. Russian troops did not pull back to lines that they were supposed to pull back to upon the defeat of Germany. In response to that, the United States cut off Lend-Lease aid to the Soviets pretty much as soon as the war ended, while approving a further loan to Great Britain. That did not sit well with the Soviet Union. They wanted continued American aid. The United States and Great Britain worked together on atomic bomb research, while the Soviet Union was kept very much out of that completely. But the Americans and the British and the Western Allies accused the Soviet Union of wanting to take over the countries of Eastern Europe, that the Red Army was not leaving Poland, was not leaving Hungary, was not leaving Romania, Bulgaria, and the Western Allies said to Stalin, you've used the Second World War to create this enormous Soviet empire, that you're going to control all of these countries from Moscow. And you're not going to allow free and fair elections to be held there. That the Atlantic Charter during World War II said all these countries would have free and fair elections, and Truman and Churchill and then Attlee said to Stalin, how can you possibly have free and fair elections with the Red Army, camped out all over all of these countries? Stalin replied that he needed those countries to serve as a barrier between Russia and Germany, since Germany had attacked Russia twice since 1914. So the bad blood was in evidence very, very immediately after the guns in Europe fell silent in 1945.